Yo, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet Violet VGC video. I'm your host Jose Rocks, and today we have another episode of Journey Through VGC. The current format we're in is Regulation E. Y'all ready? Let's get into it. Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. So this is going to be a new team for me. This team is going to be built around MIENSHAO. And this was requested by one of my followers, subscribers on the channel. And they asked, could I build a team around MIENSHAO? So here we are. The inspiration behind this team was that I used to have a MIENSHAO Calyrex Shadow team back in Sword and Shield. And I kind of wanted to put MIENSHAO next to Ghost types because I felt like it does support them pretty well with being able to fake out and hit close combat. And Ghost types typically don't like going up against normal types. And with MIENSHAO, you're able to hit those Ghost types, right? I mean, those normal types with the close combat, and it does a lot of damage. So this MIENSHAO set is going to be Ghost Terror, of course, Ghost Terror, so you can get around in case something wants to fake you out just to break your sash, even though they know you're inner focus, or like for E-Speed shenanigans by like Dragonite, you're able to get around that. And if Dragonite goes for E-Speed in front of MIENSHAO, you Terror in the Ghost, and it misses, and you just close combat it next to Urshifu, you're able to just pick up a one-hit KO, which is a really good counter that MIENSHAO has into the Dragonite Chien-Pao cores. Next we have Gholdengo. Sorry, it has Feint too. So sorry, Feint. Let me jump back a couple steps. So Feint is also gonna be able to help you break through protects. So a lot of the times you may lead like Flutter Mane or Gholdengo with MIENSHAO, and you're threatening a lot of damage turn one with removing things, and they're able to, okay, let's scout out and protect and see what my opponent is gonna do. And when they go for that, you can just go for the Feint and still pick up a KO and knock out things like Chien-Pao likes to protect in front of Flutter Mane, MIENSHAO. You can just go for Feint plus Dazzling Gleam and remove Chien-Pao from the field, which is very clutch. Next we have Wide Guard on MIENSHAO. The Wide Guard is going to be able to stop double damaging attacks or spread attacks. So your Rock Slides from opposing Arcanine, Make It Rain from opposing Gholdengo, Dazzling Gleams from opposing Flutter Mane, Heat Waves from opposing Heatrans and Chi-Yus, Blizzards from opposing Alolan Arcanines and Arm Bundles and things like that. You're able to stop a lot of widespread attacks, and that's very valuable. And a lot of people know that MIENSHAO carries Wide Guard, so it does bring the mind game of them knowing that they can't really click it safely without you clicking Wide Guard. So a lot of times they might not even go for their spread type attacks, which are sometimes their best attacks. And so next we have Gholdengo. This is going to be back to the basics with Steel Terror. But the idea behind this Gholdengo is that you're very fast. You outspeed everything in the format except things with Booster Energy and Regieleki. And that's very surprising for your opponent because most Gholdengos now have been bulky. And seeing Gholdengo Clefairy, you're going to think that, okay, this Gholdengo is going to be bulky with Dragon Terror and Nasty Plot next to Clefairy to redirect. And while that would be a good set to play alongside Clefairy, I felt like it was a bit predictable, and I kind of wanted Gholdengo to be really surprising to people. And this is ranked ladder best of 1. So being able to surprise them next to MIENSHAO with Feint and also next to Clefairy when they think that you might be setting up is really good. So, and you're able to go for like Make It Rain and Shadow Ball, deal a lot of damage. Thunderbolt, it's this coverage move to help you hit like bulky water types that resist to Make It Rain. And Gyarados, I've popped up a couple times, being able to just remove that from the field. Or Pelipper is very valuable, right? And next we have Trick. Trick is really good for like locking, removing items and like locking things like Iron Hands into like one type of attack and removing their Assault Vest, right? And of course, getting an Assault Vest on Gholdengo, once you click Trick, you're not going to want to click any other status moves anyway. So just getting a free like Citrus Berry or Assault Vest sometimes is very valuable for Gholdengo. Next we have Clefairy. So Clefairy is going to be a very interesting set with Friend Guard and Fire Terror. Fire Terror is to help you so you do remove your poison weakness, but it is neutral, but you're not super effective against you anymore. And now you're also resist steel types, which are more common than poison type attacks for hitting Clefairy and trying to remove Clefairy. And a lot of people want to bring their steel type attacks because you have 2 fairies in Flutter Mane and Clefairy, and potentially Arcanine has Fairy Terror, which is a very common Terror type for Arcanine. So the idea behind the Fire Terror is that it helps you stay on the field a lot of the times when your opponents might think you are going to Feint to like a Steel type attack. And also I found that it's really good into Chien-Pao, which likes to click ice moves into Clefairy. With Chimpow dropping your defense is able to deal a lot of damage to Clefairy. With the Fire Terror, you're able to resist those ice type attacks. Its moveset is going to be Nightshade. Nightshade is so Clefairy can actually deal good damage. It does 50 damage, which in the ranked match, Clefairy is going to be at level 50, and it does damage equal to your level. So Clefairy is able to do 50 chip damage. Now, some things that deal neutral damage or not very effective damage are not even doing that much damage. So 50 damage every now and then is very good chip damage, especially for picking off things that are low HP. Of course, we have Follow Me and Helping Hand, which is a standard on Clefairy so it can support his teammates. And After You. So After You is going to be something that helps this team counter Trick Room teams. As you see, we don't have any slow mons or any Trick Room reversal or anything to counter Trick Room. So the idea behind Clefairy is that this is a reduced speed nature, minimum speed actually. So you're able to be really slow in the Trick Room. And now you can go for After You with any of your mons except Goldango, and you're able to move first in Trick Room. Now, using this team, Clefairy, while it can support Goldango with Follow Me, it cannot go for Helping Hand and After You into Goldango due to Goldango's good as gold ability. Unless Weezing's on the field, you won't be able to click those two status moves into Goldango. But all of the other mons, you're able to use that After You under Trick Room and surprise your opponents by still moving first while they got Trick Room up. Next, we have Arcanine Choice Band. This is going to be just one of the best Arcanine sets that's been in the format in Regulation E. Arcanine has continued to win every single regional tournament and be on the winning team. A lot of the times it is contributing to helping those teams win. I also just recently hit number 1 on the ladder with Hisuian Arcanine as well. So I know that it's just a good Pokemon to splash onto any team. It's very versatile. It brings Intimidate. It brings a lot of damage. And it brings priority, and that's just something that's valuable for any team, especially as well as the Rock Slide flinch outs. That when Arcanine outspeeds Mons in the end game, it can get those flinches, which can be a really cool, end game strategy to win a game where you most likely are set up to lose the game, right? And of course, Fairy Terror, Terra Blast did a lot of damage into some of those fighting types, the Dragon types, and that resist your Flare Blitz. And just dealing a lot of meaningful damage to a lot of things in the format, as well as like dark types. Next, we have Urshifu. So this Urshifu set is interesting to me. I chose to go with Steel Terror. Steel Terror makes it so you are very good into like fairy type attacks. A lot of the times, Footer Main, even though they think you're Terra Water, it might just go for like a 2-shot into you with the Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam. With the Steel Terror, now you're able to soak up plenty Dazzling Gleams, a lot of like different attacks that are common in the format, like rock type attacks. Ice type attacks. Just gives you a lot of different coverage. You become immune to poison. You resist grass from Rillaboom, and a lot of the things that usually counter Urshifu, now you're able to resist it. We have the safety goggles because now that you don't have close combat, we have Swords Dance. When you go for those +2 Swords Dances and +4 Swords Dances into Surging Strikes, a good counter for that is usually Amoonguss, because Amoonguss can still eat up those Surging Strikes, right? But now you're able to ignore Amoonguss redirection and spores and still attack the opponent, which a lot of the times your opponent is not expecting and can win you a lot of games just off the one turn that they expected you to be redirecting into their Amoonguss. And we did drop the fighting type attack, and it has Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet is just really good priority once you get to like +2, +4 at finishing out mons. This Urshifu is not fast. I didn't put much speed investment into it because I wanted to invest highly into the bulk. So next to Clefairy, this Urshifu is able to sit around on the field, get those Sword Stance off, get that Steel Terror going, and get those Helping Hands going. And it's just very defensive, and you're able to deal a lot of damage with the Surging Strikes after you get your Sword Stance boost up, and also having the redirection and Helping Hand support from Clefairy. It's a very good partner for Clefairy, and I do recommend this set. Even if you just want to take the Clefairy Urshifu set and put it on any other team, I think that it is very strong for this team. Last but not least, we have Choice Specs Flutter Mane. So this Flutter Mane is going to be, one of my favorite mons on this team. It is unique in the way that it goes back to the basics of how Flutter Mane was ran when it first was introduced into the format back in Regulation D, or which Series 2, if you want to call it that. And so that's Flutter Mane with Choice Specs with Timid. So Timid Flutter Mane with max special attack is going to outspeed all the other Flutter Mane that are in the format that aren't booster energy speed, because none of them, if they're not booster energy speed, they're not running max speed. They're going for bulk or they're going for damage. And this Fluttermane is a combination of speed and damage. So we kind of dropped the bulk here to go max special attack, max special speed, max speed. And the idea behind that is that you're dealing so much damage because you're fast, and a lot of people expect you to be bulky, and now you're moving first and you're KOing things with a dazzling gleam, right? And we kind of made up for the bulk that we're missing by playing it next to Clefairy. Playing it next to Clefairy with the Friend Guard gives you similar results to when you're playing with just a bulky spread Fluttermane, right? So now we're kind of cheating the game by, not necessarily cheating, but like cheating the team building process with making Fluttermane bulky, because usually you can't make Fluttermane fast, bulky, and hit hard, right? You have to choose like 2 of the 3. So you're either fast and bulky, but you can't hit that hard, but you're more so support, or you're bulky and you hit hard, but you're slow, right? Or you can go for this not being bulky and hitting fast and hitting hard, which is the set that I chose to go with, right? And that's why I say the reason that we're kind of cheating the code as far as team building of Fluttermane is because we have the Clefairy to give us the bulk, so now we're able to still go max speed, max special attack, deal a lot of damage, and still have that bulk. This Fluttermane set is so fun. Going for Fairy Terror, Helping Hand, Dazzling Gleam does so much damage. Moonblast does so much damage. Picks up so many one-hit KOs when your opponent's like, wow, I did not expect Fluttermane to deal that much damage, you know? Because they're not used to seeing that much output from a fast Fluttermane. If you're moving first, they're like, okay, this Fluttermane is fast, but it's not going to hit me that hard. And then we're just wiping things out. So this Fluttermane set is really fun. I do recommend it for anyone that wants to try out using the Fluttermane in a different way than what most people are using it right now. And you're going to win some games just by the element of surprise. And it's funny because now this type of set of Fluttermane is a surprise when this is actually how the Fluttermane initially was ran, before people kind of saw that having bulky Fluttermane was really good. But that's going to be it for a team breakdown. There is a rental code up at the top right, as well as a Pokebase down in the description below. And if you like these type of teams, I try to make fun teams based around Pokemon that aren't that common in the format. And you're not really seeing Clefairy and MIENSHAO, right? And I try to build a team that fits them perfectly. So if you like that type of content, go ahead and leave a like for me, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, because I'm putting out this type of content every single day. But that's going to be it for this breakdown. Let's get into these battles. Alright, so we have our first match against Gorilla. And our teams look pretty similar. He has 3 resistances to my Fluttermane. Gholdengo, his Arcanine, and his Amoonguss. But Fluttermane can hit the Roaring Moon, Iron Hands, and Urshifu pretty hard. Choice Band Arcanine looks good here into what resists my Fluttermane. I wonder if he's Choice Scarf. I could leave MIENSHAO Flutter. Arcanine in the back. And does Choice Scarf Gholdengo clean up this game? Or does Urshifu clean it up? I think Gholdengo can clean it up. I think we leave Clefairy and Urshifu this game. Let's see how it goes. Does Gholdengo Terra here is the question. I want to fake out Iron Hands and Shadow Ball. Okay, that's a good play. I don't think I needed to target down. Because I have Arcanine in the back, well, I mean, if he terrors her, I can still KO it, right? I think I want to Shadow Ball and... Okay, he switches. So something's taking a lot of damage. Okay. So depending on if he has... Heavy Slam, we may lose Flutter. But we're trading Flutter for his Roaring Moon pretty much. Turn 1 Moonblast into Iron Hands would have been crazy. It is Heavy Slam. Okay. So we trade 2 Paradoxes. I think I want to go Arcanine here. Alright, he may protect Gholdengo again. But if he goes Terra Dragon, then I can hit it with my Gholdengo, right? Feint won't work on Gholdengo because he's Ghost type. So I want to close combat here. And Flare Blitz. He's playing very... Yeah, see? He's playing really protective with Gholdengo. So if he Terras in the Fairy, I really can switch my Arcanine out and then go for Terra Fairy later. So we get that call right. Iron Hands is down. My opponent is down to his last 2. MIENSHAO's putting in work though. This close combat damage is like, you can't ignore it. Alright, so you can only Terra 1 here. I think I want to switch into Gholdengo. I feel like he should protect Amoonguss and Terra Gholdengo. You could just Terra Amoonguss. I'm gonna Flare Blitz Amoonguss because I think it's more of an issue with the spores. The spores are what's really can slow me down here. I know my opponent wants to nasty plot very bad. Okay. He doesn't even Terra. Alright, so Amoonguss is down. What does my opponent go for? Make it rain. So I can't hit him. I can't hit Gholdengo unless it tears. But if it doesn't tear, then it's taking a Shadow Ball. So I can tear into Steel, so I don't take a Shadow Ball from him. I just fake out. I could have wide guarded last turn. Alright, so he's not going for Terra. Oh, if this is a 2-hit KO, I think we're in a good spot. Nice, even better. Nice. And that should be game. My opponent didn't even get to use his Terra. He held on to his Terra so long, but that's what this team can do. Like, it's hard to choose when you want a Terra because we have so many different things that can hit you so many different ways. And it's like if you Terra something into something that's good against one thing, you become weak to something else that this team has. And that's like what this team does very well. Alright, so Shadow Ball here, and then I just want to feint. He's probably going to forfeit here, though. So let's see if feint works on Ghost type Protect. I don't think it does. We'll still go for it. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. I wasn't 100% sure if it just breaks Protect period or if it has to be something that Ghost type, normal type can hit. So that's good to know because I don't commonly use feint, but I think it's really good on this set. I could have had knockoff, but I feel like feint being able to break through protects is what makes this team really good. And then we just kick close combat. Yeah, there's nothing he can do here. Nice. And he can't Terra to get away from the super effective damage because then my MIENSHAO can hit it with a close combat. And MIENSHAO didn't even take damage this game or get his stats broken. That's just like people try to ignore this mon, but it does so much support as well as the close combat damage. It can't be ignored. Like it's max attack, right? So it's dealing good damage. It's 120 base power, and I'm focus sash, so I don't care about my defenses being dropped. But yeah, this team is really fun. I think this is one of my favorite teams I've had so far in Regulation E. That screen took a little bit. But let's get into the next one. Alright, so next we have a Como team, and he has his own fake out with Rillaboom. He does have Melodic because my Arcanine actually looks good here. And he has his own Landers, Gholdengo, and Heatran. So this is pretty cool balanced team, very similar to the Como team I made. I wonder if is he the offensive Como with clanging scales, or is he gonna be the body press set? I really think that I can safely set up with Urshifu here. Urshifu, MIENSHAO, Clefairy in the back, and I want to bring Arcanine. I'll bring Flutter. I want to bring Arcanine, but if my Urshifu is my main source of offense and it goes down, then I can't really deal with the Melodic properly. Alright. Gholdengo Landers. Okay. Alright, so Gholdengo is a bit scary here. Surge Dance. Surge Dance to fake out others. That's a good hard switch. That's a very good hard switch. He's already tearing? I guess to get around certain strikes. He's just going for an attack straight out. So my opponent kind of wins that trade-off. There's no amount of terror that could have saved me there. So I want to detect here. I guess I'll just try to close combat here. I was hoping that MIENSHAO would go down here. Okay. So I can tear here, go for surging strikes and landers. He might try to U-turn MIENSHAO. I'm gonna switch into Clefairy. It is unfortunate that I'm back to neutral. But I think he may try to U-turn with landers. He didn't hard switch. He could go for a crazy read and just stomping tantrum Urshifu, right? See what he chooses to go for. Right, survive that easily. Did he double me? He didn't cover for that. Okay. I wish I had my +2 boost. Okay, let's go down. Alright, so I could go helping hand, surging strikes into Godiva, and then try to clear with Flutter Mane. How many turns of terrain are left? 2. I wonder if he Scarf Godiva. Let's try just a double knockout. I think my one kind is a crit Shadow Ball. I'll be in a good spot if he switches to. Yeah, ooh, we do get the crit. Oh wow. Alright, so what is this last? Alright, terrain's gone, so no more priority. E-Train. I wonder will he protect E-Train here? That might lose him the game. Oh yeah, that's game over. Oh wow. We just pulled this back. I can't believe we just pulled this back. Somehow, some way, we were able to win this game. I did not think we were going to win this game, but the Steel Terror on Urshifu allowing us to survive longer and pick up a KO when he wasn't expecting it. Conserving MIENSHAO was like essential. Like unless he's like Sugarberry, I don't think it's not Sugarberry. What's the fighting resist berry? Choppleberry, I think. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, he just cancels. Sugarberry is for the ground type attacks. I think it may be Chopple. I can't remember. It's been a long time. I used to see the fighting resist berry back on Heatran back in like series. It used to be called series. I believe it was like series 10. I want to say where you're able to use one restricted and no Dynamax. There was a Heatran with the fighting resist berry going around. That was really good, and it had like a lot of support to help it with the ground type attacks. But that was back in Sword and Shield, so it's not really that common these days. But that was a really fun match. MIENSHAO really stepped up and allowed us to get that win. So that's, you know, two essential games that it really helped. And like I said, the close combat damage like can't be understated. Now I think we lose that game every time we don't get the crit. But I did play to my outs and we were able to figure out a way to win that game. But MIENSHAO's close combat damage, I cannot understate how strong it is. But let's get into the next one. All right, we got our next match. Pretty standard meta team going around right now. Yeah. Tornadus, Arcanine, Wellspring, Ogerpon, Urshifu, Dark most likely. Or maybe it could be Water still. Chien-Pao and Fluttermane. So he's definitely gonna go with Tornadus. I think I can showcase how good Clefairy Fluttermane is here and just wipe out his team early. Lordango and MIENSHAO's close combat damage is really good. And if I can't hit Flutter with close combat, I can just hit it with it, make it rain. Fake out to slow down some things. So as expected, Arcanine comes out. Usher was probably gonna go for Surging Strikes here. But I just want to get damage on the board. He didn't lead Tornadus, so we had the speed advantage. And I can get Arcanine into Make It Rain range, and we'll be in a good spot. Should be Urshifu. So it's water, so it's gonna survive a turn, but we're gonna take it out next turn. It's probably just Surging Strikes plus Rock Slide. Now, there's Gleam. I probably could have killed Urshifu with a helping hand. Oh, I just KO'd it anyway. Oh my god. This Flutter Mane is so strong. And it is just Rock Slide, so we survive on both. Does he have back Tornadus? Because if he does, I can get Gholdengo in for free pretty much. There's Chien-Pao. That looks like Choice Band damage. I think Chien-Pao protects here. If he doesn't protect, yeah, I could have switched in Gholdengo there. He already uses Terra, so I can always feint him once I break the Focus Sash. And if he switches in anything, I mean, I guess Ogerpon, but it should be Flutter Mane in the back. Yeah. So that tells me that it's not Ogerpon, because otherwise you switch it in here for Chien-Pao. Oh, you're not Sash on Chien-Pao. Beautiful. It's got to be Flutter, right? Yep. Because you can't switch there. That's why Chien-Pao just faints. You can't Sucker Punch because I have Follow Me pressure. And he's really just pinned. Nice. Now, MIENSHAO was completely useless into Flutter Mane in the end game, though. But he wasn't booster energy, so that means that we always outspeed with Gholdengo. So as long as we get off 2 Make It Rains, even if it survives the first, I think we're in a good spot. So we had that one pretty much wrapped up. And that's the strength behind Clefairy plus Flutter Mane. We were able to showcase it there. Like Flutter Mane choice specs with Timid, like we were able to outspeed, you know, pretty much everything except Chien-Pao and Iron Bundle and Aleki. Or like Dragapult. But we were able to just do so much damage, so. And we just, you know, took down a really standard team, like just swept through it. My opponent didn't bring Tornadus. I feel like Tornadus can be decent into these teams. But with Fake Out and Redirection, it kind of like nullifies some of the things that Tornadus wants to do. Plus, we also have MIENSHAO with Wide Guard, which might be why he chose not to bring it. He might not have been covert cloak, and he also just has bleak wind. And MIENSHAO is really good into like a set like that. So this could be it for that one. Let's get to the next one. Alright, so we have a Sableye here with Iron Hands, Tinglu, Ogerpon, Crest, and Moltres. If I had to guess, it's probably Screens, Sableye. I mean, I think I can showcase the Urshifu here. The Steel Terror looks like it could be good against like the Air Slash from Moltres if he sets that up. And I think Arcanine is really good into this team too. So I think we can leave. Okay, so okay, Flutter. All right, so Flutter hits 4 of his mons for super effective damage. So hold on, let's think about that for a second. Arcanine kind of loses to Tinglu. But if I Terra Fairy Arcanine, then it kind of just goes crazy here. I think I like that. Oh man, I timed out. That might be bad. I clicked it at the last minute, but I don't know if I got it in. Alright, so I did get it in though. Can't go for Swords Dance because of the Encore pressure, right? Actually, I can't. I go for Swords Dance and then bring out Clefairy. Yeah. I don't know what Tinglu's gonna do here. Sableye really just go for screens here turn 1? Yeah, he does. Perfect. Oh, he has Terra Blast. What? And he gets a crit. Well, that's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. I wonder, does he have Earthquake too? Alright, so I need to remove Sableye like right now. Should this be another Earthquake? Good switch. But we're going after the Sableye right now. My Urshifu was positioned so well. Terra Blast Ting Lu, like you can't expect that. Can't predict that. And he got a crit. Because with the Friend Guard, we were able to soak it up. I could have Terra'd in a Steel, but why would you ever, Terra Steel it? I wonder if it's Iron Hands here. It is. See, the after you stuff can come into. Oh, he has Protect on freaking Iron Hands. What? But he shouldn't expect the after you tech that I have. Oh. Icy Wind on Chris. Oh wow. Another crit, man. It's crazy. Taking so much damage because of these crits. Alright, let's see what you can do, MIENSHAO. Can we pick up the KO on this Iron Hands? It's pretty bulky. So it has Protect. That's not doing. Oh, the Reflect. It's the Reflect that's why I'm not doing as much damage. He has a Citrus Berry. Yeah, that's probably gonna be game. Oh, he does miss Icy Wind. My opponent's team is so weird, man. Lunar Blessing skill swap Icy Wind, like. I'd rather him have went for Trick Room. Yeah, the skill swap is what kind of messed everything up. Reflect is over though. He's probably gonna protect Iron Hands here. If only I went for Terra Blast here. He is like, what? This is the most toxic Cresselia set I have ever seen. Ally switch, Icy Wind, skill swap, Lunar Blessing. Straight toxic. I wonder if Terra Blast would have picked up the KO there. Yeah, but either way, I can't win this game. I can't beat Chris. Yeah, so well played. Sorry you guys had to sit through something like that. that is a toxic team. Like, very obnoxious. Terra Blast, Ting Lu. Fairy Terror. Protect Iron Hands. Sableye and Cresselia with Ally Switch, Icy Wind, and Skill Swap. Like, that team is based on like gimmicks and just and even though like if I just got that call right, we now got the Iron Hands, I think I could win that game. But those are the type of teams, you know, that you run into when you're on the late night ladder. But let's get into one final game. Alright, so for our final match of the day, we have Tornadus here with Spectrier. He has his own Hisuian Arcanine. Also has Chi-Yu, King Gambit, and Ogerpon. If he didn't have Ogerpon, I can go Urshifu here. I really just want to Specs Dazzle with Clefairy. Then I'll go MIENSHAO, Clefairy in the back. I think Arcanine is correct. I think Urshifu, the sun potentially being up hurts it. And Gholdengo, he has 2 fire types plus Ogerpon and a steel type in King Gambit, so I'm not really hitting much. So I think I brought the right 4. I kind of feel like MIENSHAO's useless here because Chi-Yu might Terra and a Ghost. So I'm going to go in the Clef to get the extra defense and just Dazzle. I should outspeed both, so like Dazzle and Gleam should be a 2-hit KO on both. And we can save MIENSHAO for the end game. Because I'm almost positive he bought Hisuian Arcanine and Ting Lu. I mean, not Ting Lu, King Gambit. Oh, he's Choice Specs. I mean, Choice Scarf. Oh, focus sash. So are you snarling? Shut up. Okay then. So I could have just faked out Chi Yu and just put Dazzling on. So it's probably a rock slide here. Or even an E-speed. Now I kind of wish I brought Gordingo. It's probably just an E-speed here. I could have just switched into Arcanine. I wanted to do it. But I didn't have a conviction to do it. Because if he just went for Rock Slide, that would have been bad. But now he has to switch. Arcanine's on the field, so any of the three he has in the back can't take a Flare Blitz. And he shouldn't think I would go for Flare Blitz into that slot. And I just want to KO this Spectre because I don't want him to be able to switch anymore. Yep. So if it's King Gambit, we're just going to one-shot it. Ogre Palm, okay. Alright, we're still one-shot Ogre Palm. Alright, so he still has Terra here. I want to switch out my Arcanine into MIENSHAO and follow me. I would just go for Nightshade here. But if he doubles... Oh, would that even be too bad? I think I really want to remove Spectre. So I'm going to try to attack it. Yo, follow me to the matter there. Oh, if he just went for Rock Slide, right? So I can... Fake out you and Rock Slide myself. Alright. What are you tearing into, Fairy? Oh, you teared that. That's a very good play. I didn't expect him to find that play. Oh, I just double KO though. Choice Band Arcanine is crazy. That's why this Pokemon has won so many regionals. 5 in a row. Wow. What, like unintimidated, you just rock both of them. And that was a good play because he covered. I feel like he could have went for like protect, but like fake out Rock Slide was so strong. I felt like he would have terrored the Arcanine. But I'm guessing he probably was normal terror, so he couldn't really terror it anyway to get away from the close combat, and he just wanted to get rid of MIENSHAO. But woo, MIENSHAO's fake out ended up winning that game because he could have. His Arcanine was faster than mine. So he could have gotten a flinch out of us, which would have been very detrimental to us losing that game, especially with Spectre picking up the knockout game +1. The Spectre was able to stick around, though. I could have clicked E-Speed into that slot, and then he's locked in the Rock Slide, then MIENSHAO could have just... Like, if I E-Speeded the Spectre knowing that it might Terror, KO that, then MIENSHAO just gets free close combats into Arcanine, because Rock Slide's not doing much. But this was a fun set of games, and we did get to bring out MIENSHAO, so hopefully he was able to showcase, how good it is. And let's get into a mid-range review with this team. All right, so we're back getting into a mid-range review with this team. MIENSHAO was absolutely incredible. This Pokemon is so fun to use, and while it does get kind of hard wall with the Ghost Terrors and the Ghost types in the format, with Gholdengo and Fluttermane being so common, it does kind of not do well into those two. But if you're able to get around the ghost types, like the close combat damage, the threat of fake out, feint, wide guard, it's just a really cool set. And you could maybe if you want to try to use it a little bit more optimal, you can get rid of the feint and go for knockoff. That way you can hit some of those ghost types that kind of wall you, and you're not stuck in in those games where you can't really hit the ghost type, right? But other than that, the Gholdengo, this Choice Scarlet Gholdengo is really fun, really good. And it's really strong on best of one ladder when your opponent is unaware of what you might potentially be able to outspeed. And a lot of the format is really rotating towards Dragon Terror plus Nasty Plot Gholdengo. So the really aggressive turn 1 Make It Rain with Steel Terror is very surprising to a lot of different people. And the idea is that you lead it with MIENSHAO. And some of the things that like to go for protects, like fairies in front of Gholdengo, or just things that are low HP and want to protect in front of that fake out, go for that feint, and then now you're just picking up KOs with the Make It Rain that they're not suspecting. Or even going for a Thunderbolt onto things that are weak to electric, like Gyarados or something like that. Because in one of my practice games, I was able to feint the Gyarados because it protected and just Thunderbolt and knocked it out, right? And that was really clutch. The Clefairy is really good. We didn't get to click Nightshade that much, but it is there so that Clefairy can deal meaningful damage. I thought about Icy Wind, but I didn't have enough protects on this team outside of the Urshifu to be able to protect and go for Icy Wind. So I wanted something just to deal a little bit more damage when I'm able to outspeed or just deal damage and things are surviving on low HP. And you can just knock things out with Clefairy, because a lot of the times people try to ignore Clefairy. And the Nightshade doing, a guaranteed 50 damage is very valuable. The After You, while it didn't come out in this game, had we not run into that very odd Cresselia set and they went for the Trick Room, I would have been able to showcase the After You under Trick Room with making my Arcanine go before the Iron Hands and being able to deal big damage to it before it was able to move, right? And that game, like I said, we got crit a lot, and I could have played a little bit better. It was very hard for me to predict a Fairy Terror Ting Lu to go for Steel Terror on my Urshifu. And that Steel Terror is there so that you can survive those grass type attacks, those fairy type attacks that usually target down Urshifu, and you're able to get your Swords Dance up. And next to Clefairy, because this is a bulkier Urshifu, like you're able to just pick up a lot of KOs. A lot of the times you're able to get 2 Swords Dance off, right, and just start, just sweeping through your opponent's teams with the Urshifu. Choice Band Arcanine, as you see, like I see why this Pokemon continues to win regionals. It is very strong. Like when it's not intimidated, Choice Band Rock Slide, Choice Band Flare Blitz, like it just does so much damage and just one shot so many things. And like you get that like under the proper speed control, or just in end games where they don't have like a lot of switches into it, and it's very hard to KO if you remove like the ground types and the water types from their team. And I can really see why this Pokemon is so good right now. And Choice Specs Timid Fluttermane is very undervalued. A lot of people are going bulky Fluttermane, and the idea behind my Fluttermane is that I wanted max speed and max special attack, and then I'll get the bulk from the Clefairy with the Friend Guard, right? And now we're fast and we hit hard, which a lot of people aren't expecting on this Fluttermane. And we showcase it in this game that we're able to just like pick up like an Urshifu immediately, it tear it in the water and still got one shot. And a lot of people aren't expecting Specs Fluttermane to be able to just one shot Urshifu like that with a Gleam, especially a double target move. And that's because we are max special attack and max speed. So this team is really fun. If you want to try out MIENSHAO, I haven't seen anyone else, showcase MIENSHAO, so I think this is a good team for it. And like I said, there's a rental code up at the top right, as well as a PokePaste down in the description below. And that's going to be it for these battles. And I will catch you guys in the next one. All right, deuces.